What going beautiful people, welcome to yet another video. I hope you guys are feeling good. I am glad to be back with another video, and in today's video I am back with some transfer news. Of course, yesterday it's never a boring day in Chelsea, to say the least. There was some news. Of course, we have Petr Cech, who had to step down from his role, and for me, I don't see too much going on with all that. I feel like, yes, he was part of the people that worked with Roman, Marina, and this is not for me, this is not a situation of whereby people who worked previously with Roman are all leaving, so I don't think that's the case whatsoever. I just think maybe a conflict of interest, or possibly just the new owners who are just, I don't know, trying something new. I don't see a big deal with it, and I'm wishing him all the best. But in terms of what has been going on in terms of the transfer news, of course, Chelsea has not yet made a signing. Am I shocked? Absolutely not. Are we going to wait for last minute? I hope not. With the news that have been coming out today and the past few days, it is giving us a good sign, it's giving us a green light, but then this is how the rumors are. We will be giving green lights for weeks and weeks. Hopefully we are able to make signings. And what is going on in terms of Chelsea, please make sure you watch the video till the end. If you're into the channel, please like the video, it really helps me a lot. Subscribe and turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Let's jump right into it. So first, in terms of Todd Boehly, he made it clear that he's going to support what Thomas Tuchel wants. He wants a situation whereby it's almost as similar as Liverpool, where Klopp gets all the players he asks for. And if this is the case, then we're going to be having a few interesting signings, because this is not going to be controlled by the person in office in terms of the transfer, who in this case is Todd Boehly. He will be in charge of the negotiation, so he will not be the one making the decision. Thomas Tuchel will be giving in his request, then the negotiations will take place. If it goes through, of course, we'll be weighing out the options, but it's going to be a different process this time, and hopefully it actually works out. But in terms of transfer news, now, the defense position, we know this is where most of our players have left, including Rudiger, Christensen, just to mention a few. But we have to make replacements for them. Now, in terms of the defense position, who are the targets? Who are we eyeing, and what has been reported? In terms of first player, now we have Sergej Savic. I hope I got it correctly. If I didn't, yeah, you'll just have to bear with me. Chelsea have started negotiations with Lazio for Sergej Savic. 80 million euros cash is what is preferred by Lazio. Now, the 27-year-old is from Serbia. He plays a central midfielder position, but if he comes to Chelsea, hopefully he's able to adapt, because Chelsea sometimes requires players to adapt. But in terms of the 2021-2022 season, he had a great season with 37 appearances. He was able to make 22 goals and assists, and I think this is really good. In terms of a midfielder, if we have this as an option in terms of our team, I feel like this will create a greater option when we don't have players, especially when they're out on injury. How will this affect the squad? Will he adapt fast enough? Is he interested in moving? Now, this is just a rumor, but it is what has been happening in terms of the central midfield position. We know that there have been rumors of some of our midfielders looking to leave. So this will be a very good replacement, especially in terms of the goal contribution and assists. But as we know, the Premier League is a bit harder, it's a bit tougher. Will he adapt? Let's see what happens. But that is what is happening in terms of Savic. Then in terms of our centre-back position, as I mentioned, our defence is literally open with players leaving. Now, who is the latest player linked to Chelsea in terms of the defence? Now, in terms of centre-back position, we have Mathis De Ligt. Or Francis De Ligt, I don't know, but Mathis, I will call him Mathis. Mathis is easier for me. Apparently, Mathis has moved ahead of Jules Koundé in Chelsea's priority list. The club is keen to offload players or could offer them in a swap deal for the defender. Chelsea could make contact with Juventus between today and tomorrow to continue negotiations. In terms of the centre-back, first of all, I am all for young players. I've mentioned this over and over in the past. So if he's coming to Chelsea, the 20-year-old will have a lot of time to adapt. Hopefully, he is able to adapt fast. That is my major option, my major goal, because non-adapting players always end frustrating us throughout the club, throughout the transfer window. They'll be looking probably to go on loan and all that. But I just hope he's able to adapt. In terms of his 31 appearances, he was able to make a combination of 4 goals and assists. So for centre-back, this is actually pretty good. And if he was to come to Chelsea with this goal contribution, I mean, I don't why not? Let's see what happens in next few days. But that is what is happening in terms of Matthys. Now, in terms of comparison with him and Jules Kounde, apparently the more prioritized player at the moment, because in terms of Kounde, I mentioned in my previous video that Sevilla were not looking attracted to the deal that Chelsea were offering. In terms of Chelsea were not willing to add more money in terms of the deal, and it's looking as though he might be falling into second place. Now, Jules Kounde, of course, had made a lot of buzz by coming to London, and people were speculating that it's really a done deal, but the deal isn't yet done. And what is going on? They said it would be done weeks ago. Oh, no, not weeks ago, days ago. I think it's weeks now. But that is what is happening in terms of our defense position. In terms of Sterling, in terms of Raheem Sterling, apparently according to Fabrizio, there has been a new bid that has been presented to Man City, and Todd Boehly is looking to do the negotiations privately rather than in order to avoid public haggling, in order to avoid public disputes, bargains. And for me, this is wise. I mean, this is what Chelsea has always done, doing our work, doing our negotiations indoors, and then finally just putting enough noise around the news. Finally, when we're able to sign the player, we announce it fully and all that. But this is what Todd Boehly is looking to do. He's looking to make Sterling the first signing of his era in terms of the men's club. But Thomas Tuchel is apparently pushing for not only Sterling but Nathan Ake. Now, in terms of the 27-year-old, he has had a very interesting career in terms of Chelsea. He left Chelsea just after finishing his under-18, and he went on loan. He has gone on loan to Reading, he has gone on loan to Watford, and finally he went on loan to Bournemouth before Bournemouth finally decided to buy him for the sum of 22.8 million euros. Now, this was a very good deal for Bournemouth because a few years later, I think 3 years later, the 2020-2021 season, Manchester City signed him for 5.3 million euros signing, and this is a great signing for him. I mean, he's a 27-year-old, but not only is he a centre-back, but he is also versatile in terms of the roles he can play. He can also play the role of the left-back and defensive midfielder. So I would like to see a versatile player. Now, when he was in Man City, was he getting a lot of game time? No. I feel like this actually pushed him back a bit. And before I go on, what is up with Chelsea just looking over Man City players? I have seen this all over social media. Some fans are complaining that we don't want to be having a Man City sloppy seconds. But I've also seen another rumor that not only is Sterling and Nathan Ake, but also Zinchenko also on Thomas Tuchel's list. And I'm just like, are we going for the whole squad now? What is going on? Are we just going to just take over Man City's squad? I don't think Pep will allow this. Absolutely not. But in terms of Sterling, it is looking good, and a new bid has been put in terms of Man City. Well, are they looking to accept the bid? Let's see what happens in the next few days. But that is the latest in terms of what is going on in Chelsea. In terms of Lukaku, he is going to Inter Milan. He should be landing in Milan tonight, and tomorrow I think should be set for the medicals. Honestly, yes, this deal does not have an obligation to buy. But I don't know, I just have a feeling that he has another card up his streak, and he will just show us and at this point I'll just be like, I'm not even surprised anymore. But it is what it is. That is the latest in terms of what is happening in Chelsea. So far, we have not made any new signing whatsoever in terms of the men's club, but we are making moves already in terms of the female club, and I wish we can move faster, but I would rather us do things slowly but carefully and actually decide on the players we want rather than doing things hastily last minute. Would rather leave it out and just work with what we have. With that in mind, that is what is going on in Chelsea. That is the latest transfer news. If you're new to the content, please like the video, share it with your family and friends. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. I'll see you in my next video.